welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, for the start of Season 5. And who do we have? We have an in-studio guest, New York Pro Classic Champion, Neil Currey! Yes!
Thank you for having me.
Neil. This is the first time we filmed in the studio since May for what I call the Irish incident. When my MC and didn't actually go to plan, and I only managed about 20 minutes before being carted off in an ambulance. But so mate, I mean, the last time I spoke to you, it was on Skype. It was through this very this webcam, and you made a promise to me at the end. I said, you're from London, right? And you went, no, I'm from Rotherham. I went, hang on a minute, Rotherham's like an hour away. And then you said, and you promised me, and you said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, well, if I'd have known, I'd have got you in the studio. And then you said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get my Olympia qualification, and I promise I will come back into the studio. And you didn't, right, mate, you didn't just get a qualification. You won the New York Pro.
Yeah, kept my word.
Mate, that's like considered what, the third biggest pro show, and that's the third most prestigious.
Yeah. It was my dream show as well, to be honest. Like, I always watched, I think I said it in the last interview. I always watch the New York Pro every year, and it's the one I've always wanted to do. So to win that one as my first pro win was magical.
Yeah, and do you know what? I want to try and find, because I got your Instagram here, I want to try and find, you did that jump. And do you know what I really like? Somebody put a cape and everything on it, on you.
Yeah, they made me like Superman, didn't they?
That was cool.
Oh my God. When I did that jump, so many people took a photo of that jump. It was just like 10 years of trying to do something pushed into 2 seconds. So my reaction was just like, and I just like elevated off the floor.
Wow, it was a hell of a jump, mate.
And it was a good jump. And I was just like, yes. And like, I don't know, I kind of thought like, if I win, I'm going to go, thank you. Be kind of as humble as I can.
Do a Dorian where you just kind of like a slight, corner of your mouth lifts up.
Yeah, but I actually I just jumped up and went, yes. And like all the judges looked at me and just kind of went.
But the thing was, because you competed, what was it, a couple of weeks before?
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So we did the Pittsburgh Pro. That was 2 weeks prior. And it was pretty much a similar field who did the New York Pro. So the guy who won Pittsburgh, Alexandra.
That's right.
He was going on to do New York, so I knew that. And the guy who came second, Camilo, he was going on to do it.
Yes, the guy who used to do the Open, the Brazilian guy.
They both did Open.
Right.
So they were both dense guys. They both had a lot of muscle tissue.
So the guy who won Pittsburgh,
Alexandra.
Yes, he was open.
He was open.
Oh, wow.
Well, so he came down. So the two top guys there, they were dense. They had that real good quality muscle. They were great competitors. What the thing is that happened with Pittsburgh, I came in a tiny bit flat. I wasn't 100%. I woke up in the morning and I was a little bit backed up, and I was like, I need to go to the toilet, right? As a competitor, it's an important thing.
It's important.
Keep everything moving.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I was just like, I don't know if I can put another meal in yet. If I had a meal right then, I'd have got bloated. So we just waited. And I waited like 2 hours and it weren't going. So I was like, all right, we need to start eating. Anyway, long story short, I only had 2 meals before the pre-judging, where normally I'd have had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But it was like, do I risk being bloated for 5% more fullness?
Sorry to interrupt, but were you nervous about what happened the year before? Because we can come to that later. Yeah. But basically, you had to pull out of the show, correct?
Yeah. So I had an issue. I was eating some foods I was intolerant to.
Yeah.
And it really messed up my digestive tract, and it was giving me like severe bloating, but ad hoc, random times. Like literally I could do a deep vacuum, then 2 minutes later I could look pregnant.
Yeah. And
this was happening in the run up to the Texas Pro last year. And then I fixed it, and then everything was fine. And the morning of the Pittsburgh, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if it was nerves, I'm not sure. But I was like, I just didn't feel confident in my stomach. Anyway, we only had 2 meals. I was slightly on the flatter side, but I knew in that lineup, if I got myself 100% blasting full, I could do it. So
do the
New York.
Do the New. Yeah, so what do you say? Do it or win?
Win.
Okay.
Yeah, so I knew. I didn't know I was going to do it, but I knew I was capable of doing it.
Right. Okay.
Because I was kind of rubbing shoulders with these guys, and I knew I weren't at my best. And they'd kind of expressed to me that they were at their best. So I knew what needed to be done in the next 2 weeks. Me and Milos went away. We had those conversations. We focused on fullness. We came in really as full as we could for the New York. I felt blasting full backstage. Like, I actually wore the same T-shirt on when I walked to the venue for both shows.
Okay.
And I was like bursting out of it in the New York. And in the Pittsburgh, it was a bit baggy on me.
Right,
so I knew going in, I was like, I've got the same
yeah.
T-shirt on it. I'm so much fuller. Anyway, we went on, and it was a battle. It wasn't an easy win by any means.
Was it straight first?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
But it was a tough competition, you know. Alexander and Camilla both brought it.
Yeah.
You know, and I ended up being victorious.
Oh, God, because obviously, I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed when I saw you got third at Pittsburgh, because I know that you put so much into this, as does everyone.
Yeah.
But when it was like, I was like, oh no, and I thought, well, maybe this is just a warm up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thing is, you're out of your country, but thing is, I think last year, that traveling and competing, do you think that stood you in good stead this year?
I think, mate, the main thing is, as you know, with Classic, we've got the weight limit, right?
Yeah.
So when we would check for the Pittsburgh show, for example, we were checking in at, I think it was like 8 p.m, pre-judging 9 a.m. So the window to fill up, it was like 13 hours. So we was like totally depleted to make weight.
Right.
And we only have 13 hours, so you can't put that much food in 13 hours and keep a small waistline.
And you got to go sleep, because I mean, sleeping, a good night's sleep, I've always said is crucial to drying out and filling out. Like when I was competing, even if it was in the daytime, even if I just sat very still, lay very still, it's so important to rest your body and get that good night's sleep. Because if it doesn't happen, you know, you can't look your best. And if you've got that 13 hours to then carb up as well and fill out, I mean, that must be tricky.
Yeah, and I think that was a challenge, but it's the same challenge for all of us, so it's no excuse.
We're
all in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did Pittsburgh, and look, I'd not been on stage in Texas when it went wrong. I did have a little bit of nerves, to be honest. I was a little bit worried. And then as the show went on, and
why?
Just with the bloating, I was just like, I hope it didn't happen again, and it didn't. It was fine. Mm-hmm. So coming out of Pittsburgh, I got straight on the phone to Milos, and I was like, dude, we can do more. We can eat more. I'm confident now. Yeah. Like, bring on New York. Like, because I was saying to Milos more like, let's play it safe for Pittsburgh.
Right,
you know, let's play it safe.
First one of the season.
Let's get in that top 5. Let's go there. Let's, you know, and let's really peak for the New York Pro. And I got my confidence, and then I knew I could eat more. I knew I could fill up more. I had another 2 weeks to drive conditioning, and I knew who I was competing against.
Same guys again. The thing is, though, in New York, it is arguably a bigger show.
It is a big show. There were some other names as well.
So I say you're going to have other names jumping in. Yeah. So you've not only got those 2 guys that beat you in Pittsburgh, but you know that there's going to be other heavy hitters bringing their best for that huge show, the New York Pro.
Yeah, but I had a good idea of the standard that was going to be there. And I knew if we got to a certain level, I could be up there fighting for the win. And that's what we did. And we literally went all out for it. The way Milos was running it, we were on FaceTime 2-3 times a day, posing, checking, filling, managing my weight. And what happened in the New York prep, in the final week, I never went flat once.
Oh, wow.
I stayed full and within striking distance of the weight limit. So I actually turned up to registration, 98 kilo, which is my limit, but I was actually full.
Right.
Whereas when I turned up in Pittsburgh at 98, I was slightly flat and we had to do loads of filling.
So you were already full by the time you weighed in?
Yes.
And then you knew you had extra time?
And I had that evening again to fill out even more. So we just did a slightly different strategy. You know, and it worked. So, that was that. Yeah.
So, I mean, winning the New York Pro, and obviously now I think you started your prep. When do you, because I mean, let me elaborate. This photo I saw on your Instagram, this I saw, and this was you at the start of your prep.
This was yesterday.
Is that yesterday? Okay.
This was I think one day ago. Yeah, this was yesterday. This is a check-in I sent to Milos. So what we basically did is, coming out of the New York Pro, it was like, right, I had the Arnold Classic invite, but we made a decision not to do the Arnold Classic.
Oh, so the Arnold UK?
Yes.
Right, okay, so you're not doing anything now?
I'm not doing anything but Olympia.
None of the Europeans?
No, just straight for the
No
Olympia.
Prague, no Romania?
No.
Okay.
Straight, all eggs in one basket.
Fair enough.
So we had like a time window of like kind of 10 weeks to make an improvement season.
Yeah.
So we went really hard. I put on 22 kilos. Yeah, I put 22 kilos on from New York until the start of this prep.
Can I ask you, even when you're in full off season, do you really put much body fat on?
No, just hold a bit of water.
Right, okay.
You know, like, it weren't 22 kilos of muscle, obviously. I put my scale weight went from 98 kilo, and I got up to 120.
120, so that's 264 pounds.
Yeah.
At 5'10".
Yeah.
A classic.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So then,
wow.
This is 16 weeks out. I took a break off the PEDs. And reset, did my bloods, got healthy.
Hang on. So did you do a pre-diet?
So this is 8 weeks into. It's a 24-week prep I'm doing for Olympia. Okay, so it's a 24-week preparation. So this is 8 weeks in. Right.
Okay.
But most people, the preparation's a difficult word, right? You know, when you say prep, you think cardio, eating white fish and broccoli. No, like, we've just started the prep, but it's still on high food, you know, and we're just slowly easing in. So it's a 24-week prep in total. So this is 8 weeks of being on prep, but my food's still high, cardio's super low. So so your weight limit for classic is 98 kilo. What are you weighing there now? 112.
You're 112 kilos. Yeah. So you've got 14 kilos.
14 kilos to go.
So that's about a kilo a week.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, light work.
Yeah, that's because that's kilo. That's like 2 pounds. That's under 3 pounds loss a week. You're not really gonna lose much muscle, if anything. You know?
I think to get this, it's going to be crazy. I've definitely put size on since New York. I've definitely added muscle tissue, so I'm going to have to be leaner than New York.
Is that an issue though for putting muscle on for you? Are you worried?
No, because I will get leaner. I want to get leaner every show. So
okay.
For me, it's like you'll notice my upper body's got bigger. I'm only training legs once a week. I train everything above the waist twice a week.
Wow, okay.
So I do 10 sessions a week.
Hang on, you train twice a day, 5 days a week?
Yeah, and then so I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, twice a day.
Wow.
And then Friday, Saturday once, Sunday off.
Okay.
So I do 10 sessions over the week. I hit legs, quads on a Wednesday morning, hamstrings on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
That's all I do for legs one day.
Yeah.
2 sessions in one day. But then across the whole week, I hit everything twice, upper body. So I'm trying to redistribute. I want to get the upper body bigger. So I'm spending more time training that. And I honestly think this, my goal, my honest goal is I want to be like the most conditioned guy on planet Earth on December the 15th.
Because the thing is, like, I think I said to you actually last time when he came on the Skype, I said, I don't think I've ever seen you. You've never missed your peak. I've never seen you anything less than, like, even in Pittsburgh, you say you weren't at your best, but it's only because you weren't like smooth or anything. You weren't soft. You were just a little bit flat.
Yeah. Condition will always be non-negotiable for me. I love conditioning.
Speaking my language, mate.
Yeah. For me, missing the peak's not being full enough.
Right, okay.
That is what I would consider as missing a peak, not being quite full enough.
Yeah.
And that's just a struggle with the window, you know, with the window of weighing in and show day. But that can be managed. If you can arrive at that weigh-in with a little bit of fullness, not super depleted and super flat, you can do it, you know. But for me, if I arrive there super depleted, super flat, 12 hours is not enough to fill up a 98 kilo frame. Yeah. It's just not.
So, I mean, this is a bit of a random question. I've asked you this before, I think. I mean, what do you think, what weight, if you had no weight cap, what do you think your physique would look its best at?
Probably 102, 103.
So it's not much over then?
No, it's not much over.
Yeah.
But that's still considering like within the realms of, I say that because I know I've got to get to 98. If 98 weren't in existence, where would I look my best? Yeah. It might be, if I've bulked up more, it could be 108, 109, but yeah. But yeah, I'd look, with Classic, you've just got to think, you've got to shift your mindset. A lot of these open guys that are dropping down are worried about, am I going to lose tissue, or what am I going to look. The game in Classic is looking the best you physically can at the weight limit. I was shocked how that Camilo Diaz looked, because he didn't look, because he was a big guy that wasn't necessarily doing that well as an open, but I thought, when I heard that he was switching to Classic, I thought, he's not going to look like the same guy. He did. He looked better. Yeah. So some guys, it's like sometimes by actually coming down, by actually losing that bit of weight, that extra bit of weight, you gain the separation, you gain the quality, the waist, the shoulder to waist differential is more pronounced.
You know, so you
to
might
him.
think you look great at 105, 110 kilo, but you might not actually look as impressive.
Yeah, well, I was talking to him as well, and he said the reason he looked better in Classic is because he had to focus on condition.
Right.
You know, he weren't focusing on being crazy full or crazy big or trying to keep up with the big boys. He was focusing on condition. And, you know, condition looks good under the lights, right? You know, when the lights hit him, he lit up like a Christmas tree.
He was, I was impressed.
Great.
I was really impressed.
You know, stood next to him. He was hard to compete against. You know, I think he just needs a little bit more back.
A bit more back. Yeah. Because he's
more in the back shots,
yeah.
More in the back shots. I think that's where it just let him down a little bit. But he's a great athlete. So he went on to win a show the week after.
That's right.
Yeah, he did the.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the show. With the Mid USA in the same place they film. Oh, what was that film? Breaking Bad. You know, they filmed Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Better Call Saul.
Yeah. It was in the same place as that.
Oh,
I can't
wow.
remember what the place is called off the top of my head. But yeah, he did the Mid USA.
Okay.
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So he did the Mid USA in Albuquerque, and he won that. So he's got his qualification. So it'll be interesting to see how he does at Olympia as well.
You know, I mean, we talked outside about who you're going to have to go up against at the Olympia and all these. Because I mean, Classic now is that what shocks me is the sheer amount of new faces coming in. Like me and Ron do the previews for MD.
Yep.
The shows, and like we go through the open guys, go through 212, and then sometimes in the Classic there'll be 4 or 5 guys like, oh, I know this person, but you know what? There's been actually a lot of shows now where it's like I don't know a freaking single guy on. There's like 30 guys, and then you see the top 3, and it's like, and they're all sensational, and that's the first time we've ever seen them, and we're kind of in the loop, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, does it?
There's a lot of depth.
Yeah.
In the field,
Yeah.
100%. I just think with the Classic, it's getting so popular.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of good guys, and there's a lot of bodybuilders coming down. Like, I don't know if you've just seen Florian, who came down.
Poisson.
In Texas. He didn't quite get it right, but he could be good. You know, and it's attractive. Classic's attractive to a lot of people.
He's got those massive legs, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
All the weight holes in his legs and his upper body. I feel like it shrank too much.
Yeah,
as a Classic.
He just looked too sucked on the upper half. Like people would compare him to Chris Bumstead not long ago.
Yeah.
You know, all around Instagram, it was, could he beat Chris? Could he beat Chris? And then he scraped top 5.
I thought actually as an open guy, because he turned pro in Portugal in 2019. He won the amateur Olympia, and then the next day he came 4th. And that was against like Samson, Valliere, you know. So he was in a really good lineup, and I actually compared him to like a young Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually disappointed when I heard he'd switched to Classic.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason he did. Maybe it's health reasons. I'm not sure. I don't know the reasons.
I do know the reason.
Oh dear. He's sharing or not?
Yeah. No, what it was, he just didn't want to maintain 300 pounds.
Oh, so he didn't want to live like that.
He said, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I mean, maybe it was health reasons. He said, I'm not willing to do what I need to do to be good enough as an open guy.
Yeah.
He says, but I want to continue to compete.
Yeah, your body goes where your mind goes, right?
Yeah.
So if your mind's not in it, you're never going to get to 300 pounds and be able to hold it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So if that's what he wants to do, and I'm sure he will do well. He's just got to refine it. It's his first time he did it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a totally different game. You know, if you're going from open to Classic, like it's a totally different game. You know,
the thing is, I mean, it seems such a shame to kind of downsize the legs to try and maybe, you know, allow him a chance to grow his upper body a bit, because his upper body he looked almost like a men's physique. Upper body. I mean, and that's no disrespect because some of the men's physique are huge. Yeah. But I just thought, if you're not balanced, you know, are you kind of wasting your time in Classic?
Yeah, it's one of them things. Maybe you can just alter some things. Maybe you can carb up different. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what he used, what he didn't use. But you can take one thing and suck your whole half your body off.
Yeah,
you know, in this sport, one little mistake can pull everything out of a certain area. So he could have got something wrong. So,
like, literally now you started your Olympia prep properly. 16 weeks this week.
Yep.
Has it actually hit you that? Because I mean, you came into the sport. I mean, literally like last year, you I didn't know who you were till last year, and then you were off in Tampa. You're making top 3s, and you were getting really good placings. And I was like, this guy's from the UK. I mean, I didn't actually realize you were an hour down the road.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you hit the scene very quickly, but you're also successful very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so now just a year later, you know, I mean, I'd love to ask the same question to Dean White.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, with the 212 being amateur on the one morning, and then 2 days later you're a pro and you've won a pro show and you go into the Olympia. But having said that, has it really hit you that the Olympia is actually looming, or are you just too busy just doing what you need to do?
Mate, there's nothing more special in life than turning a dream into a reality. And that is where I'm at, right? So I've been dreaming about competing at Olympia for years. I know it seems like, kind of like you just said, I just broke on the scene, but I kind of stay quiet. I don't voice my opinions too much, and I work hard, and then I go and do the shows. And like before I came second at Tampa and Texas, et cetera, like, you know, I'd done, I think 4 or 5 pro shows before that. I'd got 4 top 10s, I think I did. Currey, Spain, Italy, maybe one more.
My whole feed for weeks was just you, just doing it. Just do it. I think on your Instagram it was just your front lat spread about 50 times a day, and then because you like your front lat spread. I mean that is an impressive bloody pose, by the way. But like, and then it was just like I was like, my God, this guy's. I mean, you were doing a lot of traveling and competing. Do you think? Was that good experience? Good learning?
Yeah, it was great experience. And look, I was always honest with where I was at. So when I first started competing, like when I got my pro card, right, and I thought, right, I'm going to have my first off season as a pro, and I'm going to compete, try and be top 10 athlete. And I did that in 4 shows. And that was my goal. I was turning up to shows wanting to get top 10.
Okay.
And I was getting like an 8th, a 7th, and a 9th.
But that's your starting point.
Yeah, but I was happy with that.
Yeah, I always say, like, you know, like if it's your first Olympia and you don't make top 3 or top 5 or top 10, it's like, look, at least you've got a starting point on which to then build up.
And that was my goal, and that's probably why you haven't seen me or heard of me in those shows, because I was at the back end of the top 10, right?
Right.
No one talks about those people as much. And then as I progressed on my next season, I was like, right, I'm going for top 5s this year. Anything below top 5, I'm unhappy with. And I got the second in Tampa, etc. And that's probably when I started to get noticed a little bit more, because
you came up on my radar then.
Yeah, and I think on quite a few people's radar. And then I went away from that one. And I said, right, this year, 3rd season, I'm going to win. That's my goal. You know, I did that. And it's been a long time in the making, but my dream was to compete at Olympia. So to answer your original question, which is now my reality, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to compete at Olympia in 16 weeks. It's booked. Flights are booked. Hotels booked. It's all good to go. Has it sunk in? Yeah, I'm very aware of it, 100%. There's nothing more motivating than waking up in the morning and knowing in 111 days you've got to stand on Olympia stage. I'm always motivated to prep, always motivated to cardio, always motivated to train. But when you're in the depth of a set and you've got 2 reps to go and you know you've got to stand on Olympia stage, you do 3. It's that simple.
Yeah.
There is... I couldn't even fathom thinking of missing 1 gram of food. Yeah. Or missing 1 second of cardio, or 1 rep, or being a minute late for a session. Like, it's a whole new realm of motivation when you know you got to go on the Olympia stage. And I really want to like seize that opportunity. Yeah. You only get 1 shot at your first Olympia. I'm going all out for it. I got big goals, you know, and I'm always accurate with my goals, and my goal is to get the top 10. Yeah. And then once I'm in that, start working. Yeah. Start getting up that line. Yeah. You know, and get as close to that number 1 spot as I can.
Because I think the last time I spoke to you, because there's got a lot of good feedback, you know, on comments and on the forums and everything like that from that interview. Because you and I had never spoken before, so I kind of went in kind of with an open mind. And I came away and I was just like, I remember when I took the headphones off here and I said, that guy's mindset is absolutely incredible. And that's what everyone said. That's what came across. So that's what I took away from that particular interview. I thought, there's a guy that, because it's like you said, where the mind goes, the body will follow. And that's what I got. That's the impression I got. I thought this guy knows this, you know, like when you said, no, I'll come back, I'll come up to the studio when I win my pro show, get to the Olympia, he says, and then I'll come up. And I believed you. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, rolling your eyes, you know. But I was like, no, I believe this guy. Do you know what I mean? Because I think even if you hadn't won New York, I think you would have just kept. I think you'd have just kept going and going and going and going and going. You're like bloody
I'd probably
Samson.
Still be in America.
Yeah.
Skint.
yeah. So I mean, like some in between some of the Arnold and the Boston, like Samson. It was only a week. Samson came home on the Tuesday.
Yeah, and then he went back.
Yeah, he flew home. And then he went back. I said, why? What are you doing? He says, well, I've got work and I've got stuff to do. And I was like,
That's crazy.
But you actually, like in between Pittsburgh and the New York Pro, you stayed out there, didn't you?
Mate, I stayed for 2 weeks at the host hotel for the New York Pro.
Really?
I looked at the stage venue every single morning. I was doing cardio, looking at the stage. Like it was in the glass room view. I was sat staring at that thing.
Holy shit!
So and then because when you go in New York, the New York Pro was actually in New Jersey. You know New Jersey, right? New York.
Yep.
So what most people do is they stay near Bev's gym.
Right.
And I presume train out of Bev's gym.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I wanted to be near the venue for ease of checking. I didn't know much about New York or New Jersey. I'd done a bit of Googling.
Yeah.
And on trains, it looked like 3 or 4 hours to get from New Jersey from Bev's gym to the venue.
Right.
And I thought I don't want to do that on weigh-in day when I'm depleted, and
Yeah.
that stemmed to a lot of stress. Anyway, once we got there, we realised how crazy New York was. So we just hired a car.
Yeah.
But we'd already booked the hotel. So we stayed at the venue, then we were travelling to the Bev's gym, and we was training there a little bit. But yeah, I was literally in the venue for 2 weeks, so it felt real, and we was putting it in.
So how did you manage with food and training?
Well, I had a hotel, but within the hotel was a kitchen.
Yeah.
So that was just like...
you had a kitchen in the room?
Yeah, we got like one of the top rooms with like a kitchen in it and a fridge in it. A really nice hotel at Marriott.
Okay, so what about training?
I trained at Bev's gym, but you got to remember I was doing 2 a day. So I did a session at Bev's gym. I wanted to go and see Steve. I think...
So how far?
So that was like... I didn't go there every day. That was like a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So I think when you're doing the New York Pro, it's a very respectful thing to go and see Bev's gym, see Steve.
100%.
I asked him to have a look at me.
Yeah.
He gave me great feedback. He fixed my side chest pose. And I went to see... I went to see Steve and went through some posing, and he gave me some good pointers, which I actually carried onto the stage, and it paid off. So that was a very worthwhile trip. So anyone doing the New York Pro, go to Bev's gym. Steve's a cool guy. He's approachable. He can tell he loves this.
Yeah. So
he weren't like, oh yeah, I'll have a look. He was like, yeah, show him what you got, bro. And I showed him, and he's like, great, change that, do this like that.
What was his feedback then, if you can say?
He just said my condition was great, and he just fixed a few poses. So side chest he fixed. He told me to do my front double stood up right. They like you stood up right,
More like a vacuum rather than crunching your abs?
Yeah, and just up, straight, standing straight, back double bicep, not crunching back.
Okay.
Up straight. So just little feedbacks from a judge's perspective, which is... it's priceless, right? When the head judge of the Olympia is giving you feedback.
Yeah.
You listen to that.
What was the gym like?
Honestly, best gym I've ever trained at.
Why?
Atmosphere for one.
Yeah.
Like anyone and everyone's in there.
Yeah.
Mate, I spent about £400 in the clothes shop in that gym. I've got like 6 Bev's gyms, hoodies, t-shirts.
Nice.
My missus wears my pyjamas walking around the house. Dude, it's like he has handpicked the best machines from around the world. It's like you go in one part of the gym, you feel like you're in the 1970s. And you go in another part of the gym, you feel like you're in oxygen in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And then you go in one and there's hammer strength, and there's everything. It's actually, there's so much. It's like, I was doing chest there, and I was like, right, I've got 6 exercises, but there's 25 chest pieces. And I was like, so I ended up changing my plan. I did 12 exercises, but 2 sets on each. So I wanted to use them all.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like a kid in the toy shop. Absolutely boiling in their mind.
Is it?
Absolutely boiling. Great posing studio. There's a boxing ring in the back, cardio. If I could train anywhere, mate, I think that'd be the place.
I mean, as you know, Kamal's moved to Florida.
Yeah, I've been MI40. That's good as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Pekulski gym.
Yes.
Ben Pack gym.
That's where he trains in it, Kamal. MI40.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I trained for Tampa Pro Prep.
Oh, okay.
So it's good there. Steve's is probably a touch better in my eyes. It's 10 times the size.
So, I mean, do you ever see yourself moving to America or?
No.
Really?
No, I don't think I would, purely because of my partner, what she does. She's kind of fixed to England with her job.
Right, okay.
And I'm happy here.
Could she not transfer that?
She maybe could, but look, I'm happy here. Like, I live in Rotherham. There's 2 things Rotherham offers: Ultraflex Gym and Tesco's. That is it. There's nothing else to do. Honestly, I had a client come up, right? I mean, this is no joke. I had a client come up yesterday and come up to see me. We did arms, and he brought in his missus. And anyway, he got back to his hotel and he texted me. He said, bro, what should we do? What is there to do around here? I says, well, you've got two options, mate. I says, you go to the gym, which you've done, or just go and browse around Tesco's. There is nothing else in that town. And there isn't. Yeah. And that's why I love it, because you just focus. That's bodybuilding city.
Yeah.
And
work for Dorian, work for Ronnie.
Yeah. And there's literally, mate, you just eat and train when you live in Rotherham. There's no nightclubs, there's no bars, there's no restaurants.
How many good athletes following their dream of going to Golds in Venice and California, how many of them have fallen by the wayside or worse because distraction?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you hear all the stories and they're hanging out with rappers and and dating multiple girls and stuff, and it's like, and a lot of them they're being watched all the time, but you're basically, your approach is very much like Dorian Yates's, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I don't film
work for him.
I don't film everything. I don't YouTube. I work.
Yeah.
And then I try and translate that onto the stage. I don't like distractions. I like to home in. Like right now, like 6 weeks out of Olympia, I'm homed in. There's nowhere I'd rather be than Rotherham right now, to be honest.
Really?
Nowhere. That's my place. My training partner.
Go Tesco's.
Yeah, my training partner's there. He's an absolute savage. He's like I said, Steve's gym is probably the best gym in the world. Honestly, I've been to a lot of gyms. Like I've been to them all. But Rotherham Ultraflex is also up there.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the top 5 in the world.
There's an Ultraflex in Leeds. That was the first one when Charlie.
That's nothing compared to Rotherham.
Oh really?
Nothing.
Oh wow! Because I've been to the one in York.
Yeah, nothing.
I've been to York and I've been to the Leeds one, and I used to train legs there on a Saturday and stuff.
They're all obviously great gyms.
Yeah.
But Cuba runs our gym.
Right.
He's I'm not sure of the politics. Charlie owns the company, right?
Yeah.
And I think Cuba maybe owns that one or something, or part of it. I'm not too
sure. Right. Okay.
But it's Cuba's gym. We consider it Cuba's gym, right? And he's bringing in new kit every week. It seems like every spare buckle he's got, he gets a new piece of kit. Like we've had 5 pieces in the last 2 months, probably.
Wow!
And it's constantly evolving, and it's an amazing facility. So there's no areas I'd rather train. That's my place to train.
Yeah.
My training partner's there. There's 3 Olympians for this Olympia training there.
Wow.
And I think there's like 5, 6 IFBB pros that are in that gym.
Yeah.
And we've all moved to Rotherham to train there.
Yeah.
None of us are from Rotherham.
Yeah.
Even Cuba, he's from Poland. So like,
well, I suppose the name. Yeah.
So we've all moved, to train there, and we live there. And my training partner's moved from York to train there. Sounds
like kind of like with Flex Lewis and people moving to Vegas and kind of being part of like a bodybuilder friendly community where you're not just tolerated or you're the only bodybuilder and you're smashing the weights up and they maybe look down on you. Maybe this is a place that actually kind of encourages and like it sounds like you're really welcomed. Yeah,
100%. We're all like-minded, so we'll be training after training. We pose after every session, but other lads will come in and have a look at us and be like, "Oh, can I have a look at you?" And I'll be like, "Oh, can I have a look at you, mate?" And we'll support each other, give each other tips, and everyone's on the same trajectory. Everyone's trying to get to Mr. Olympia in that gym, or trying to get to be a good amateur, or they're trying to get a pro card. But it's like an environment where 90% of the people in that building at any given time are trying to achieve a goal, and however big it may be. For me, if you go into Olympia, you're trying to get a regional, you're still in the same boat. You're a bodybuilder and you're trying your hardest, and it's the same respect for everyone. And I love it there, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. So to answer your question, Rotherham, perfect for me. Perfect place to prep for Olympia. Yeah, it's like them horses that wear blinkers. Yeah. I'm like a horse with blinkers on.
Well, thing is, I mean, it's like I said, you were successful, like really from out the gate. Like I said, second in. Was that your first year, Tampa?
That was my second year.
Oh, second.
My first year I did Kuwait, I came 6th.
Yep.
I did Italy and came 7th. I did the Europa Pro, which was a really high standard. I came 9th. That was my first year. Then my second year, I did Tampa, I came 2nd. Yep. And then I was looking at 3rd or 4th in Texas, but I had to pull out in the final because of my stomach.
Right.
And then I kind of hit the reset button, went with Milos, figured a few things out. And then came back on my 3rd season as a pro and got my first win. Yeah.
What would you say were the biggest sort of implemented changes by Milos when you first started working? What were the things that he changed that made a huge difference?
Everything.
So I've heard this before, yeah.
There's only one Milos Sarkev, right? He has a very unique way of doing things. People think I'm crazy at my gym because I train cardio 6 a.m. My first session's at 12 weights and my second session's at 7.
Yeah.
I'm in there 3 times. Like
you live there.
Yeah. But people think I'm crazy, right? But his way of doing things is totally different to, say, I don't know, another coach who may do push-pull off, legs off, right? And they train 3 or 4 times a week versus me training 10 times a week. It's totally different. So what comes with that is a totally different nutrition strategy. If you're training 10 times a week, you got to eat more.
Yeah.
Intra-workout nutrition,
yep.
you know, everything that comes with that. So when I went with Milos, everything changed. The way I train, the way I eat, the way I recover. Like I have one rest day and I rest like a king on that rest day.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm whacked.
Yeah.
So everything changed. Even like very intelligent way of running like the PEDs, the way he does things, mini cycles, the usage of insulin. You know, I know people don't talk about these things a lot, but it's a part of the sport, and he has a very unique and intelligent way of getting the most out of those things.
Right.
So that was a big win. Training twice a day for me, massive win. My body responded like crazy to that style.
I mean, obviously going from the way you were training before to that way of training is quite more demanding on your system. Was it like a real shock to the system at the start?
Right. So this is the key. The previous way was more demanding on my system.
Really?
Yes, on the central nervous system.
Why?
So I was going into a chest press, right, with a logbook, trying to do 4 plates when my elbow hurts for 10 reps. Because last week I did 9 reps. So this week I got to do 10, right?
That's how I used to train.
Next week I do 11.
It gets to a point where it's like progressive overload gets to the point where you end up... In the end, I was just doing 80% forced reps, bad form, so I could write in my book, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve.
So you got to think, right, you're going on chest press, 4 plates aside, you get your wrist straps on, your elbow straps on, your belt on, you're sniffing salts, you're thinking about your worst enemy, you're getting all aggressive, and you're getting it up. How much of that's in your pec? Come on, 30%?
Yeah.
How much is in your shoulder, your elbow, your wrists, like you wiggling, whatever. Whereas the way we train now, I think of it like isolate and penetrate. When I do a chest press, I use my chest and my chest only. So what happens in this type of training, you train chest and your chest muscles, your pectorals are fried. Not your central nervous system, not your shoulders, not your elbows, not your brain, just your chest. You go home, you eat 2 meals, you come back, you do the same to shoulders. Your shoulders are obliterated, not your central nervous system, just your delts.
So the inflammation is really only in the muscle you're training rather than the joints and the tendons, which I suppose is less stress on the system. Yeah,
because we're going through like the way we train. It's like, yes, it seems like high volume, but we do like slow eccentrics, time in the squeeze, high volume, and then like some like intensifiers like muscle rounds, 5 sets of 5 with 10 reps.
I saw Jamie's.
Yeah,
it was like I think he was 9 exercise for his chest, and it was a circuit. He did 9 exercises in a row, which took me something like several minutes to film, like 5 minutes to film. And then he says, Giles, I'm going to do that again. He says, in fact, film this one because this will be even. And I was like, gee, my shoulders are aching filming you. Do you know what I mean?
We don't do so much of the circuits because we train in public gym. Obviously, he's got his own gym.
Yeah.
So we kind of hit an exercise at a time or supersets and stuff. Point. But the way we train, it's very specific. We target the muscles. You know, we train to look good on the stage, not to lift an amount of weight. So when I'm training, I'm thinking, how can I make my lats wider so I can open it up on a stage? When I'm training my chest, I'm thinking, how can I make this part of it sit and this part round? And that's what I'm thinking. Not how much weight can I lift? Yeah. How much mechanical tension can I put under it? Oh. And that is why it's not as fatiguing. Like I don't look tired. I've just finished 10 sessions.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's my rest day. I'm fine. You know, I'm not, but every muscle in my body right now feels like it's got toothache. You know, I'm hurting, but I'm fresh.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically. I'm ready to go again tomorrow. So for me personally, this works. It's not for everyone, but to answer the question with the Milos changes, obviously the PED side, the training side, the nutrition side, it's all very unique. And if you get it right, for me, it made me win the New York Pro.
Yeah.
When I was doing it the other way, I was a top 5 athlete. I did this for 6 months to a year, and I won the New York Pro, and I'm now an Olympian. So will I change? No, never. Like, that's the way I like to train.
Do you think this style of training works best for a classic?
Yeah, we spoke about this last time. I think, no, I generally believe that, people could look at the photo you showed earlier and say that guy could go open, right? Mm-hmm. I'm restricting myself. I'm restricted. I'm not pushing as hard as I can here.
Yeah.
Like I'm pulling back. So I think I could fly my weight up with this style of training with more food.
Okay.
100%.
So it's purely down to the food that is 100%. Stopping you from...
Yeah, I'm having to eat small meals, because I can't... When I put that weight on post-New York, I didn't put 22 kgs on and stop because I stopped because of a timeline.
Yeah.
I could have kept going, 100%. I was flying up.
Yeah.
But we've got to be careful with classic. You can't put too much weight on, right? Because you're just going to have to pull it all off.
So, I mean, I suppose now you've won New York Pro, you're going to the Olympia. Do you ever think beyond that, as in, like in 2 or 3 years' time, am I going to really be struggling to hold my... I mean, we've seen bodybuilders like, say, Sean Ray over like a 13-year career. His physique didn't really get that much bigger, but it got better.
Yeah.
So do you ever think, okay, I've got a timeline in my head of, to the point where I know I can't do anything more with the stage weight I can be?
No, I think...
Really?
I've been 98 kilo for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I look 3 times as big now.
Right.
So I think I can keep doing that every year and get back down to the stage weight better every year with better. Because you got to think, it's quality in it. It's the quality that makes you look bigger. The striations, the cuts, the fullness, the quality of the muscle. So I definitely think I can keep getting back down to 98.
Really?
And get bigger every time. Yeah, 100%. You just got to lose more body fat.
Are you never... Because I know, obviously, I spoke to Flex Lewis about... He said, literally, Giles, after the third 212 win, he said, Giles, it was times when it really wasn't fun getting down to 212. He said it was actually... It was a stress. It was a worry. And he said, I knew I wasn't bringing my best physique because I know I could look better at 225 or 226. He said, so almost he was like... knowing that at 4 weeks out, it's like his training partner O'Neill Hill is only getting to see the best version of him, and then, do you know what I mean? Do you ever? I mean, as an athlete, do you ever think, okay, I'm curious to know if I just took the restraining thing off, I could just go for it, or is it like, no, I've got this goal for the Olympia, top 10, then top 5, then
So I like to suffer. I enjoy it. I enjoy prepping. I like it. Like, in the last 2 weeks for prep, like my missus don't let me drive because I'm like, she don't let me, like when we were in America, she wouldn't let me drive. She had to drive because it wasn't safe for me to drive. So, because that's the level of fatigue that I'm at trying to get down to weight.
Right.
I did cardio one morning. She thought I did an hour and a half's cardio. But I did 45 minutes and stopped and fell asleep on the bike. I had a nap on the bike, mate, and I finished.
Did you?
Yeah,
on the bike?
On the bike, yeah. I was on the bike in the hotel.
Not a sit-down one? Or?
Yeah, recovery.
Oh, right, okay.
Recovery cycle.
Does he fall
I
off?
literally finished cardio. I looked at my phone and I thought, right, 45 minutes, that's done.
Douche.
I just went, But I do enjoy... It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that process of making weight. I enjoy the suffering at the end.
Right.
I do enjoy it. And I do love classic. I love that type of physique.
But you don't actually just have a look to attain. You actually have a body weight to attain. So it's not like... Do you know what I mean? You know exactly what the number has to be for you to be able to even step on stage.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is I'm yet to do a year and not get better.
Right.
So when that happens, I think this is a relevant conversation.
Yeah.
So for example, if I step on Olympia stage 98 kilo, and then the next season I look the same, that's when we have a conversation of, do I need to move into the open?
Yeah.
But at the minute, every time I get on stage, I've got better. So I'm not in a place yet where I think, I'm too big for classic, because I'm getting better at 98 kilo every time. And I'm aware of the fact that this division is how good you can look at the weight limit. So I have to ignore how good I look at 104 and just focus on what the game is, which is the best you are at 98.
But then you've got someone like Chris Bumstead, who say the 2020 went to 2021. he didn't look as good in 2021 as he did in 2020.
No.
Now he's in a position where he's holding on to this title, and he knows probably that he's not going to possibly get better.
Yeah.
Because he didn't in 2021. He didn't look better.
He's got 50 guys with a title on his back, and we are coming.
He's got 50 guys like you after him. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, it's a tough one. But I think maybe that was a peaking issue. I think he'll be better this year.
Okay.
I think he made such a big improvement the year before that. Everyone was expecting the same again, right?
Yeah.
And I think he was obviously good. It's Chris Bumstead. He's amazing. He looks amazing when he's off, right? But I just don't think that was his very best. I think he said it himself. It wasn't his best peak, but he was still good enough to be best in the world. So, I think he still had like 10 pounds to go on his weight limit.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The guy must have bones made of candy floss.
Yeah.
But look,
he has got that kidney problem though, hasn't he? So, I think he may be.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if you put that £10 on, would he look better, or would he maybe not look as aesthetic? Maybe with the some of those classic shots not look as good, because I think I'm trying to think of an example where someone, Kerith, the guy who won.
Tampa.
He won Kerith. Is it Jones?
Second, Tampa.
No, he won, and then he won. He won one of them.
He won Texas.
Won Texas. Yeah. Second, I mean, he actually I said, you look so much better than the year before. I said, how much have you got to the 212 limit? And he says, I'm £10 lighter than I was last year.
Yeah. But you look bigger, right?
There you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Honestly, mate, I think there's still room to go. Even though I struggle to get to 98 kilo, the look is getting better every year. So I'll keep struggling to get to 98 as long as I'm looking better each time. If I get to a stage where I'm just stuck and I'm not improving, then it would be potentially time to move up. But I've got to be sensible. Like, look at the open guys. If you want to be a top Olympian there, you got Big Ramy, Andrew Jacks, Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, these guys. That's a big jump. Yeah. So my goal isn't to do that. My goal is to do well in classic.
I mean, some bodybuilders literally they don't look further than the next show. Yeah. They don't really try to think beyond that. Do you know what I mean? Like 212s and classics that have to make weight limit. They don't. Some of them don't. Whereas some of them have they'll say to you, look, I'm going to do classic for 3 years, then I'm off. I'm going to classic, or like Bumstead. Yeah. I want to win 6 or something, and then I want to retire, which he'll be retired before he's 30.
Yeah.
So everyone has different kind of motivations and different goals in mind, Yeah.
But I've only just got started in classic, dude. I've just got my first show.
Good point.
I want to do Olympia. Because I've won the New York Pro, I might have a good chance of qualifying for the Arnold, Ohio.
True.
So I want to do that. I want to retain the New York Pro title.
Yeah.
I've still got unfinished business in Tampa.
Yeah.
I want to go back and take that one. Because I nearly got that. So I want to take that. And there's going to be other shows I want to do. And now, this next year, I want to compete a lot more.
More,
yeah, definitely more.
Well, I suppose you'll have done 3 shows this year.
So this will be only 3. So next year I want to do more, and do as many as I can really, before without burning out and sacrificing yourself. But I want to get that qualification again. I definitely want to do the Arnold, Ohio.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if I do well at Olympia, and then with the New York Pro win, my application should be quite strong.
Yeah.
So hoping that will be an option.
One final question before we go to a break and get some food. Are you someone that keeps a close eye on the other guys in the classic, or because you mentioned the word blinkers, and that actually can sometimes apply to everything, or it can just apply to their training. Are you someone that actually really keeps a close eye on the competition?
No.
I
watch Miracle Backs as my friend.
Okay, Urs.
I love Urs. We're buddies. I always watch his stories. I watch Ruff.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Ruff.
To be honest, I love Ruff Diesel.
I only really follow people on Instagram that I know.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I enjoy watching what they do. Because I know them, and I enjoy following them. I'm not one of these people who scrolls through every athlete, because it's a waste of time. I don't spend loads of time on Instagram, mate. I try and stay away from that.
Have you seen what they've done with the algorithm now anyway? It's all suggested bullshit. I've gone right off it, to be honest. I struggle to find the people that I actually even follow now.
Yeah, like, look, you can see a photo. Like, people might see a photo and they think, right, oh yeah, that guy looks amazing. But it depends. He might be stood with a good lighting. He might be under a down light. He might have just trained.
Filter.
Yeah, filter, Photoshop, all this crap. You know what I mean? So, I don't keep an eye on what they're doing, and that's not a disrespectful thing. I watch them in all their shows, 100%, and I support them and I follow them and I really watch the shows. Yeah, because I get all the pay-per-views. I sit and watch them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, good.
I watch them all.
That's good.
I love bodybuilding, but what I don't do is troll all the athletes' Instagrams and look at their updates and stuff, because for me that it's not motivational for me. That it's I'm not too worried about how they're doing. I'm more worried about how I'm doing. Let them worry about me.
I think maybe you're inviting an opportunity for your own head games there as well.
Yeah, it's no matter what I think, they're still going to do what they're going to do. So I've got to do what I got to do, and just try my hardest.
And how many times have you seen an athlete and you look at their Instagram and think, my God, they're like Mr. Olympia, and then you see them on stage, and don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're nothing like you've seen their updates for the last 10 weeks updates, you know?
Mate, I've been there myself. I posted photos on Instagram and looked like I could win. I've gone on stage and come third. Right. Because things happen, so you can't judge it on Instagram. Like bodybuilding, you can look amazing the day before, get one thing wrong, and it's game over. Yeah. So, I watch the shows, to answer your question. I really watch the shows, and I follow the guys, and I use that more as a guide to where the division's at and where the standard's at, rather than kind of strolling through the Instagram stuff. Yeah.
Oh, one final question as well before we go break. Do you what's your feelings on the amount of people? We just spoke about this earlier. The amount of people that are coming into the classic. What's your feelings on that? Are you happy about that,
happy
or
about
do you not? Are you happy?
Yeah, more people the better. So for Olympia, there's 50, right?
Yeah.
There's 50 of us.
50?
Yeah.
And we've still got how many qualifiers?
5 or 6.
So that's another 6 competitors.
Plus the points. I'm sure it's around 50. That's what I've seen. I've not actually physically counted, but the list is deep. But for me, if it's 50 or 15, it makes no difference. Yeah. The top 10's going to be the top 10. Mm-hmm. Whether the other, so anything, it's just more people to beat.
Better to come top 10 out of 50 than top 10 out of 20.
But it's still top 10.
Exactly. And the thing is, then, like you said, you've beat more people. And, because your goal is your top 10, that's your goal. It doesn't matter who's behind you, because, like you said, it's more people to be compared to.
And I say this with the most respect, and I could be in the second part of this. You never know where you're going to land. But when you watch a show, there's a clear divide between the top 3 and everyone else. At this pro level, you watch a show, you see the top 5, you see the 5th call out.
Good point.
Right, you're like boom, boom, night and day. The caliber is like this. Yeah. Well, all that happens is when you got 50 guys, the gulf in talent is going to be bigger. So the better guys are going to look better. Yeah. And the worse guys are going to look worse. Yeah. So the guys with the most respect that have won the smaller shows, they've had 3 or 4 competitors maybe in it. They're going to struggle to match up with the guys who have won the big shows with 40 competitors in. And I think regardless if there's 20, 30, 40, 50, it does not matter. The top 10 will shine above everyone else. And that's where you've got to aim to get in, right? So for me, I love that there's more, because it means classic's more popular and it's growing and more people invested in the sport. And, I think this classic's just growing, right? Yeah. It's a great division to be in, but it's also pretty hard competing in it, because there's of talent just coming and coming and coming.
It's almost like a victim of its own popularity now, because there is so many. And do you know when classic started in the UK?
Yeah, I did the first show.
No.
When?
2006.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. It was a natural guy that swapped over. It was.
I'm thinking. I did the first Two Bros show.
Yes. This was like. It was like wellness was around. Like
how many years?
Lauren, when was wellness around in Brazil? Years ago. Like 10, 15 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah. And then now everyone's saying like it's a new thing. And I mean, classic. I remember seeing classic in the Arnold Classic in the amateur in Columbus, back in 2011. Right. It's been around a while, but I'm glad it's finally caught on, because what
federation was that in?
That was UKFF.
Okay,
this
so
was part
before
of
it all kind of split.
Before the split,
NPC and
and then they obviously introduced it as a pro class.
Right, so I didn't know that. I thought it came around the first. I thought Classic came around the first year it was in the NPC.
Well, yeah, I suppose technically 2017 was the split.
Yeah.
Then I suppose, they would have introduced, because then they gave it a category at the Olympia.
Yeah, and
that was 2016.
You had the boxer shorts type suits.
What did you think of those trunks?
Oh, God, they were awful, weren't they? They were awful. That's when Danny Esther won, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, and then Breon.
Durham Charles was in there, and So the thing is, he can say now he's an Olympia champion. Do you know what I mean? Because he won that first year, Yeah. So
it's been that was that first year it came out in the NPC. I did 2 Bro show.
Mm-hmm. What year? 2017.
2017
or 18.
I can't remember. It was one of the two.
The thing is,
I did the first ever 2 Bro show.
Right.
And they did classic, and I jumped straight into it. Wesley Visors won it.
2018. March 2018. I was there.
Yeah, I was chilling in the second call out.
Oh no, because because obviously I was backstage and I bumped into Wesley.
Yeah,
and I couldn't believe how big he was. I was like, what the hell is Classic going into it? These guys are massive.
Yeah, I thought this guy must be open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's a different game. So
times
change.
Neil, we're going to have a quick break. I'm going to get some food, and then we'll be right back, and we've got another segment to go through. But this has been brilliant, and we'll be right back after the break. Okay, guys, we are back for part 2 and our final part of the Neil Currey special Global Muscle Season 5 Episode 1. How you feeling, mate? I know you've just had some delicious chicken there cooked by Lauren.
Yeah, just had some very succulent chicken breasts.
Yes. Sorry, we've just been talking about limp mics and how it's good. Sorry, no, we'll get off the subject. Yes, well, she was worried that it was going to be raw and she was going to give you salmonella and you're going to have to pull out the Olympia and it would be all...
It was lovely, thank you.
And it'd be scandal, and we would sabotage your Olympia prep. But yeah. So anyway, check part 1. Everything looks good. So because obviously it's our first episode back,
back in the studio
after the Irish incident. That's what I call it. And So anyway, let's go through. Let's get some visuals. And let's go through your Instagram. I forgot the reason why. For Instagram, your Instagram. Anyway, let's just look. It's good. We want to see the physique. So, and I just said you got a decent amount of followers. What was it before New York?
Honestly, about the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really shot up. I've had quite a lot of followers for quite a while. It's been around I think before New York it was 147,000, 140. But I've not posted too much since New York, to be honest.
Have you bought any?
No.
You sure?
I'm too tight for that. Anyone who knows me knows that last thing I would ever buy is a
too
follower.
tight. I remember. Do you remember when our dear departed friend Luke Sando came 3rd at the Arnold Classic? That was 2019, was it? No, 2019. Yeah, he took 3rd, beating Cedric, and the next morning, life changed for him. That overnight, he says I've just had a Redcon of they've upgraded my sort of contract, and he says and now I'm able to live as a full-time pro bodybuilder. He says, and I've woken up with 40,000 extra followers.
Wow!
By coming 3rd at a huge contest like the Arnold Classic. So that's why I was thinking maybe it was 100, 105 or something, and then you won the New York Pro and boom.
It didn't shoot up massively after the New York Pro.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So cool. Okay, so just take us through. Anything pops out? Anything you want to talk about, or anything I see?
So that's from the New York Pro with the 3 pictures together.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That was I think that was from the evening.
Who's that? Mate, who's that? I don't recognise this guy without a beard.
Yeah, look, it's sucked in the face there, don't I?
Do you? Because I think, have you ever seen that episode of Simpsons where Homer Simpson shaves in the morning?
Yeah.
And then he puts the razor down and it goes and it pops back. Yeah. I imagine you grew that
very much like that.
I can imagine you shaved this morning, and by the time you drove here, you've got a full beard.
Yeah, mate, I was that weird guy at school when I was in the first year of secondary school. I had a beard.
So like some female bodybuilders. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, that's me. That's me. That looks good. Yeah.
So that was New York Pro.
Yeah. You've got very long biceps, haven't you?
I've got quite long arms. I'd be a good boxer.
yeah, you would be, yeah. So
I do have really long arms. I have to work quite hard to get my arms filled out.
Yeah. So this is in...
That's in Ultraflex with my sponsor, Granite.
Nice. Oh, you're with Granite supplements now?
Yeah.
So when did that change?
So that was just before the New York Pro. They signed me up.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, that's going really well. Granite's a great company. John Meadows' company.
Yeah.
Really good supplements.
Are they?
Like, I'm not just saying that because I'm one of the athletes. Like, they're actually legit really good. Like, obviously, because I've had issues with digestion before, I have to be really careful. I can't just take any whey protein. Like, I have to take high quality products that digest well, and it's really good. Obviously, I use a lot of the intra stuff as well. They provide and the pre's, especially with like the intra-workout nutrition with Milos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Milos and John had some similar methods. So the way the products are designed, they fit really well with my plan, actually.
Good.
But yeah, Granite's an amazing company. They now ship in the UK.
Brilliant.
They just started lately. So if anyone wants to grab that, Neil 10.
Just get. Do you know what though? I only spoke to John Meadows ever. I interviewed him once, and isn't it weird? I actually feel like I miss him. And I never really knew the guy. That's how much of an impact and how well liked he was in the industry that you feel like there's a real hole left behind. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like for people who really knew him. Do you know what I mean? You know, like Luke Sandow, you know, it's like, my God. So, you know, it's just, but it's that's a company you could trust, definitely. So maybe I need to pull some carbs and calories.
I think he's worrying about my weight.
Was he? Looking a bit heavy there, mate.
Don't get too big.
Yeah. So let's. This is Pittsburgh. So this is where you said you felt a little bit. Felt flat.
So a funny story with this one. So this photo. Imagine doing a 16-week prep and your missus forgets to wipe down the camera before she takes your photo. She's got to grease your fingers all over the lens. I come off. I said, "Oh, did you get any pictures, babe?" She goes, "Yeah, I got loads." I looked up and said, "Why is the grease all over the camera?"
Oh no!
Oh, I didn't think to wipe it.
You could have just waited till the show was over and got up and done some poses, or whenever see the janitor in the background sweeping up.
I think she was just trying to get them all. But I love you, really. But she was. We had a bit of a joke about it because it's a bit blurry, but you can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
So that was Pittsburgh. Touch on the flat side.
Yeah.
Compared to New York, but.
Yeah, just round the chest and shoulders. You don't quite look as popping, you know?
Yeah, just needed a little bit more. But like I said, I weren't too unhappy with third place in the first show.
Yeah. But third, I mean, that honestly, when you went up from third to first, I was like,
so you know, if you click on the one on the right there.
This one?
Yeah, so this is a photo. When I was telling you I was staying full in the lead up to New York, this was like 3 or 4 days out from New York. So I was hovering around the weight limit here, full.
Okay.
Which is not where I was before Pittsburgh. I was flat around 98. So I was like going into the registration with this kind of look, nice and full.
So why was there? Do you think there was an actual reason why you were just?
I just think once I got down to that 98 the first time, I managed to hold it.
Right.
And then like you know, you like we're talking about when we're having dinner, like you can sometimes eat some carbs and lose some weight, right?
Yeah.
So my metabolism was so fast, I was able to hold that weight. Yeah. I think I was around 100 kilo there, maybe.
And I think the longer you stay in shape, and even if like you said, especially if you're holding a body weight and a look. I think the things like the skin looks thinner, and I think the body just kind of just settles into being and looking that lean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
and that's kind of the goal. I was nice and full coming into the weight limit.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at these pictures when they came in, I knew I was in a totally different league than I was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like I was feeling really confident. So. Yeah, it was a nice look.
So, I mean, I always ask this question, but what point did you think I'm in the mix here for winning this at New York? Because, I mean, I know they do indicate they move them around a lot, and Steve would have maybe put you in the middle or whoever was, judging.
Honestly.
Was it a shock?
No. When I was walking over to the venue for prejudging, I thought, I knew I was at my best I've ever been. So I thought, if there's a day, it's today.
But when you went, I mean, what I mean is when you were on stage, when did you think, I think I'm in pole position here?
Yeah, as soon as I got on that stage, and you can sometimes just tell with how attentive the judges are when they're looking at you.
Right.
I could just tell they were looking at me hard, and they were really judging me hard. And then when they did the first call out, I was in the middle with Alexander. Yeah. And I could just feel every pose I was getting better.
Yeah. Because you've got to hop over those two guys that beat you. That's a huge, I think, a mental barrier, I think.
Hard to do, yeah.
You know,
but I knew I was on for New York, and I knew I had that fullness. And I think when when I was stood next to him in Pittsburgh, I felt a bit smaller.
Okay.
When I felt like I was quite a bit bigger in New York, and I could just feel it. And they kept me in the middle with Alexander, and it was a battle.
Yeah.
And when I come off pre-judging and looked at the photos, and sent them through to Milos, I said, I think we can. It's on. If we come back better in the evening, we can definitely do it.
Wow.
So I knew I was coming for first and second in New York.
Okay.
After pre-judging. But you never know in bodybuilding, obviously. When you're on that line and they're calling the 4th place, the 3rd place, the 2nd place. You went out with that. It could have gone either way. You're right, I didn't know. They could have given me second.
Did you keep wanting to step forward every time?
I just kept looking at my number because I kept forgetting
Right,
it.
Okay.
So I was looking at my number every 2 seconds on forward, checking my number.
I tell you what, that's a hell of an X-frame.
Yeah.
Innit? That's like, maybe you should do it with the legs, like the Chris Cormier way, with the legs out, so you make the proper X. Yeah. Because that's what Chris Cormier used to do. He used to do the... Well, he used to show his adductors.
What I try and do is give my legs are actually too bigger than my upper body, so I try and give the illusion that I try and make my legs look more compact when I pose. Okay. Because my legs previously, before kind of you knew me, were a lot bigger than my upper. Yeah. So now I think I'm more balanced. Right. I don't think you'd really notice, but I try and pose to make my upper body look bigger. Yeah. So that was literally just as I walked off stage. That's Evan on the right. Me and him became pals from... Who's that? That's Evan. So I've made friends with him on prep for Tampa in the MI40 gym. His missus is 2 times Miss Bikini Olympia. Who? Ashley.
Cole was there?
No way.
Yeah.
So this is...
Yes.
I thought he didn't.
No.
I thought he didn't exist. He's a real person. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
no, because Ashley kept doing the tour with us. She kept mentioning this guy, and but he wasn't. Let's get off the subject.
So,
anyway, okay.
So that's my friend Evan.
Oh, nice.
And that then the guy next to him was my New Jersey massage therapist.
Cool.
Who came to watch.
A proper team.
Yeah. There's me in the middle. There's my missus.
This lady.
And then the lady on the left of her, she made friends with her at the Pittsburgh show. They made friends.
Did they?
Kept in touch, and she came to New York.
I swear, I thought you were going to say, this woman, I don't know who she is, she just photobombed us.
No, she was. She's like Instagram friends with my girlfriend. They're always chatting. They're like best pals.
Somebody running past just walks, jumps into your photo.
Everywhere I go, my missus makes a friend. And they stay in touch, and she finds them like, she come to Pittsburgh, just a bodybuilding fan to watch. Next thing, she's at my next show, like hanging out with my missus all day. Yeah.
That's so cool.
She's really nice.
Yeah. Cool. Right, we're going to have a look. Oh, here we go. This is the shot. So, I'm going to ask next, where's the next picture that was doctored?
I don't know where it is.
With the cape?
I don't know where it is.
Oh, I thought you posted it.
Yeah, I did. Then I took it down because I was just getting like loads of weird comments on it.
You kind of look like Guy Sistinino there.
Don't say that. I'm way better looking than Guy Sistinino.
Do you know what though, mate? You look cooler with the beard. Like that. Are you going to rock that on stage at Olympia?
We'll see. I honestly think, like, you go for a job interview, you have a clean shave. Like back in the day. Yeah. It's like a respect thing. I just kind of got it in my head when you compete, you should clean shave. I don't know if that's old school thinking.
This looks cooler.
Yeah, I think it does too.
And do you know what? Remember when Luke Sandow... What? This part. I like a goatee bit. Do you remember when Luke Sandow changed his style? If you remember when he won the year before, when he won the British, around 2016, 2017, he did that Arnold in, I think, 2017. And then a couple of years later, he came back with the kind of but it was pointed, and then he got the holes in the ears, and he got his like Mohican thing. He looks so much cooler. Yeah,
they made some little toys out of him, didn't they? Do you remember them toys?
I've got them.
Dolls?
I've got them in my office. Cool. Yeah, I've got them. I've got one. They're one of the Iron Idols.
This moment was so funny. So this is when they called my number out. But when I... What? Sorry. Like, can I swear on this?
You can swear as much as you want.
Right, so I shouted, "Fucking come on!" as I jumped. And as I shouted that, it just felt like just before I opened my mouth, the whole arena went quiet. Oh. And I jumped up and went, "Fucking come on!"
Nice.
In the air. And then I landed, and all the judges looked at me as if to say, well, that meant something. Like everyone could tell it was like genuine.
It's
like
I was
so overwhelmed.
Neil, no one's gonna. I mean, when I won my first show, I just went, "Fuck me!"
Yeah,
like that.
I didn't think from the stage anyone could hear me in the crowd because the bright lights are so bright, you can't see anyone. So I thought I didn't even think who could hear me. Anyway, everyone heard me, and it was just such a...
Look at the cuts there in your legs. Look how dry your... Look at that teardrop. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that is literally like a teardrop.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, that's incredible.
And that's with no weight on it. I'm in the air.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. God, yeah. I was like,
I never forget that moment.
Yeah. So, what am I doing? Let's get off. Right. Okay. And we'll look at one or two more, and then we'll go on to our. Oh, actually, I want to talk about a subject quickly. And next.
Cool.
That's a good. Let's look at the shot. So is that Cami?
Yeah. So
Diaz
that is the top three. So you got me on the left there. Alexander in the middle, Camille on the right.
There he is, and then that's Alexander there.
Yeah.
So these are the two guys that beat you 1 and 2 at Pittsburgh, and then you turn the tables, and then look, you condition your glutes there. Look at that. Wow. I mean, you've. I'm no disrespect to the guys, but you completely. And this guy was good. I thought he was really good.
He's really conditioned. He was very good.
But look, everything. Look at the shot difference in the fullness, and you peaked perfectly there.
It was on that day.
And I'm glad that they actually gave you another look and didn't just kind of go, oh, well, these are two guys we saw in Pittsburgh. We'll just put them 1 and 2. You know, they
worked us as well, mate.
They judged it fresh.
Yeah, you know, it was obviously Steve weren't judging that show because it's his show.
Yeah, of course.
Tyler was head judge. Tyler's a really good head judge, mate. Like, you know, so Tyler was running, and Maz was there as well.
Maz Nally.
Yeah, he's a really good judge.
Yeah.
So that was good. If you swipe right, I think there's some other comparisons of us as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that was like the side chest.
Yeah, the beard looks better. Get his porno moustache.
Yeah, cool. Looks like Mexican.
Yeah,
with Colombian, isn't he?
Nice, good. Well, you got a win each.
Yeah. So
all three of you.
All three of us.
All three of you.
We'll all be at the Olympia, so that's pretty cool.
Do you kind of use those other two guys as a bit of a just think? Okay, I really want to make sure I keep staying ahead of these two guys that beat me, or is that just?
I'm not. Honestly, I'm not worrying about who's who. I'd let the judges sort that out. I just want to be my best.
Okay.
But yeah, I know. You know, when you've beaten somebody, obviously you know you can beat them.
Yeah.
But they're probably thinking the same thing about me. They can beat me, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's when you're competing at such a high standard like Olympia.
Yeah.
You can't start worrying about who you're against. There's too many good people.
Yeah.
You've just got to take them out one by one.
But I mean, surely you want to make sure that you're staying ahead of those guys, and that's in your maybe when the prep's hard.
Yeah,
and
but I can't control what they do. I can only control what I do.
Yeah, that's true.
So as long as I know that I'm going all out.
That's a nice picture. You and your lady there.
Yeah, that was on our tour of New York. So my girl can eat. So I went to New York to do the New York Pro. She just wanted to get a New York pizza.
Oh.
And then we ate mate, we went to get a New York pizza. Oh. She ate this pizza, then turned around and realised we were in an Italian restaurant. It wasn't a New York pizza. It was an Italian pizza.
Okay.
So then we had to go and get a New York pizza. Then on the way home, she wanted a Cheesecake Factory.
Completely unrelated story, yeah? Did you hear that one of the only Domino's in Italy is gone bust?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went out of business.
Really?
They've shut it down. They've shut one of the only Domino's restaurants or takeaways or whatever in Italy. I mean, talk about opening a pizza shop in Italy. I mean, you're kind of going up against the... So
New York's cool. That was Times Square. We just did the tourist thing. She went and got a pizza. I think she bought a T-shirt that said "I love New York" on it.
Nice.
And we just had like an afternoon.
Did you go see Top Gun?
No, we didn't. No, we haven't seen it. No.
I wanted to know if it's any good. But
we were just being tourists, just literally wandering around taking photos. And then I was like, I need another meal. And then she had a pizza and I had some cream and rice.
Nice. I've been to Times Square. It's nice. I was trying to find all the comic book shops. So, in fact, there's a building, and it's like that, and it's actually in the first Spider-Man film, and it's actually right in there. There's a comic book shop. That's a bit of a random fact there for you. Right, okay, look at one more then, Neil, and then we will give me a good physique shot. The one you really look at that.
I like the one. If you go on the one next to that, that was yeah, I like that look. That was about, I think it was like 3 weeks out.
Fuck, look how dry your legs are.
Yeah, so that was not weren't a bad day.
What are you weighing there, do you think?
Does it say at the top?
3 weeks out?
3 weeks out. No, I think I'll have been about 100, 102. 102.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
right.
that was a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Flat and fasted check-in.
Is that when you do them?
I did then, yeah. On prep, I used to just go to the gym around the corner from my house where they're decent lighting. And
right. So that's flat, no?
Yeah, that was just...
Really?
Yeah.
Because like when you see, like, say, Jamie the Giant, I mean, I always think he looks quite, not average, but he doesn't look like he does when he's like he looks.
He blows up, doesn't he?
When he trains and he does, because he sent me some the other day, and I said I knew because I could tell they're in the gym. He'd obviously just trained. I mean, the difference in his physique is unbelievable. But you look incredible in that, and that's fasted in the morning.
Yeah, that was in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Just want to quickly, just quickly before we come back to this, I want to touch on, like, not the state, well, kind of the state of British bodybuilding, but the amount of really good British athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, I like actually put in MD. I was trying to find the issue where I've got the 3 new Brits that are going to the Olympia. There's you, Dean White, and Rob Taylor. Like 3 new guys, classic and 212s that are now. So we've got 3 Brits, new Brits, going into the Olympia this year, as well as Samson, as well as all these other guys. I mean, Jamie could potentially go and win Italy in a couple of weeks, you know. So what's your feelings on the kind of how British bodybuilding is and where we are?
It's just on the up, right? It used to be Ryan Terry leading the flag, didn't it? Doing men's physique, and you'd watch a whole Olympia, and it'd just be Ryan from England.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're going to have obviously the big boys, Samson, maybe James Hollingshead will be there, maybe Jamie the Giant will be there. You never know. There's Mark Hector.
Yeah.
You know, so
he's made improvements.
We could have potentially 3 or 4 English in the Open, and they're like, they're some good guys, so they could do very well. There's myself, and I think there's a couple of. Is Michael DeBull? I know he's not necessarily British, but he lives there. I think he's from Syria.
Syria, yeah.
And then there's is it Vladimir, the new guy? Who's just been coming second and third.
He's just moved to America.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah, he's moved to America. He's got to come back every 6 months.
Yeah.
And then they get his thing stamped. Because I said to him, mate, where are you based in the UK? I said, because I saw it, Valentin Petrov.
Yeah, Valentin, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, and because obviously I saw him and I looked on the list and I was like, he's from the UK? I don't know who this guy is. So I looked at his Instagram. I was following him. And I said, mate, because if you're in the UK, I'd love to get you in the studio and, and give you some publicity. And he says, no, I'm in America and I'm staying here.
Yeah, so I think he's got another show coming up. I was speaking to him the other day. He's got one more show coming up. He's top of the points league now. And I think he wants to solidify that, get another batch of points to guarantee that he's qualified on points.
Came out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's thick. He's like dense. He's not got many gaps. He's got a really good physique. I think he'll do quite well.
Chris Bumstead won the single bicep. Everything, because I had him winning. I think the first one. I think it was Tampa. Maybe I had him winning that one. But just quickly before we go on to Samson, this £330. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he's going to shock a few people. No one's really talking about him, are they?
Yeah.
He's not. He keeps getting left out of these top 5 conversations, but I think that's a good thing. Leave him out of the conversations. Let him turn up and do damage.
He's big. He's aesthetic.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. He's gonna. I won't like to stand next to him.
Probably a bit too heavy for classic.
Yeah, probably a bit too heavy for classic.
Yeah, so you're 150 pounds over classic, right?
I think Samson's gonna be. I think he's gonna break a few hearts this year, mate. I think he's gonna wipe out some big names.
Yeah,
and really establish himself. I think the one. They say you could have a bit more back and a little bit more conditioning, and I think he'll have got that new back with this new weight. He's got to put some size on it.
Yeah.
Conditioning, I think it's just a matter of time,
and he still looks like he could run fast.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like 330 pounds. He doesn't look like he's struggling to walk up a flight of stairs. No.
He's going to do very, very well.
Good.
He's going to do very well.
Good. Well, I'm excited for all the Brits going to.
Then we've got Dean and Rob. In the 2-1-2.
Dean White.
Rob's training at Rotherham with us.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so I see him daily. He's looking good.
Brilliant.
He's dense, short. He's full. Literally, like from his heels to the back of his neck, he's just full of muscle. So
nice.
He's looking great. Obviously, Dean White's great, isn't he?
But you know what? I wasn't shocked by that.
No.
Even though everyone was like shocked, as in, first of all, they didn't know who he was. Then it was like, oh my God, he's been good for 4. He was winning like PCA and all the other feds and NABA, and he was winning everything for fun.
He had a pro physique. He just weren't a pro, right? You just need to turn up and get the card.
There you go.
And I wasn't surprised at all. Like when he won the first one, I thought he'll probably go on and win the 2-1-2 because he's that good. He's just because he's not done loads of NPC shows means nothing. He's just like is it Chris Goff? Is that his name? The one you interviewed? Michael, the new guy that's just joined the NPC, who needs to turn pro, the bodybuilder, really big guy. Everyone's talking about him.
Who? Crizzo.
Crizzo, sorry.
Yeah,
Crizzo,
yeah.
Sorry, I mispronounced his
Michael
name.
Krizek or something.
Yeah, I can't say his
I
name.
should know his name. I've just written an article on.
Yeah, so like it's a bit like him. Like he's gonna go and win a pro show, win an amateur show, become pro, win a pro show, probably qualify for Olympia.
It's almost like you just like, really, do you really need to?
Yeah,
but they've got to.
Everyone's the same. You know, got to get it.
I mean, Kamal was different because he'd won the World Championships, which was a pro card qualifier. He won it 6 times.
Yeah.
So he, so he was obviously, that was a different case. But so it's just, like I said, on the Saturday or the Friday or whatever, Friday morning, you're an amateur that's completely unknown. You win the amateur show, you win the amateur Olympia, you win that. Then you go do the 212, then you win that in Portugal, and then you go and you did the interview, didn't you? Lauren? Yeah, you did a good job on that. And then literally you're going to Olympia. I mean, that is.
But it felt like he woke up from a good dream. Right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Buzzing,
but like you said, he was familiar.
And deserved, mate. Earned and deserved. There was no flukes. He had the physique to win both shows. He won both shows.
I wasn't shocked. I wouldn't, because like I said, he's so good, and he'd been good for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah. I knew it was just a matter of like a formality. As soon as he showed up somewhere, he would get his pro card. Yeah. And I'm glad that he had that opportunity to then jump in a show and really, he beat some good guys as well. Yeah,
he's got a world-class physique, 100%. Yeah.
Right, okay, then who's this lady?
Right, so we're going to do a few little kind of people that helped me say thank you. So this is my partner, my girlfriend. There's her sticking her tongue out, bless her. This is actually a business page, so there's not so many photos of her.
How long is it? 4 5 years? You said?
We've been together 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
So yeah, she's my rock.
You said she's very supportive with your bodybuilding. Yeah,
super supportive, buddy. Like she's. I guess a lot of people think bodybuilders date bodybuilders, right? But it's not really the case. It's more common that they don't. So she's into a beauty and a skin, and she works very hard. She's not a bodybuilder, but she enjoys the whole process.
Yeah.
She likes going to watch the shows. She'll watch the pay-per-views with me.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she loves it. Cool. Like she's actually quite invested in it.
Good.
Look at a caption, Team Currey.
Team Currey, yeah.
But no, she's amazing. She comes to all my shows. She's couldn't do it without her, to be honest, mate. She's
awesome. And he said she's doing very well with the Rejuvenaire.
Yeah, so she does this Rejuvenaire business where she's like a skin specialist. So she does all the aesthetics, all like the facials. All this I don't know. She's in that room for hours and hours. She has a whole of Rotherham come and see her, mate.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she makes people beautiful.
Brilliant. So could you make me beautiful?
Yeah. Awesome. Just get booked in, bro. The booking system's in the link in the bio.
Do you think I look good with some nice big lips? Extra kissable.
Yeah, she's doing really well with it, man.
Good.
But she's going to be coming Vegas with me, obviously, every step of the way. So she's always there, man.
Awesome. Well, I think us two might be in Vegas.
Yeah. We'll have to all hang out.
We are going to be in Vegas. Oh, no, this is... Right, okay, who's this guy? I'd never heard of him before in my life.
Obviously, this is a guy... This is Milos. Everyone knows Milos. This is the Mind who obviously took me to my first pro win in Olympia qualification, which is amazing. So he was a godsend. He helped me so much on the prep. He was a great coach. He's a great coach, and it's I can't speak highly enough of Milos's methods and his coaching. So
good. So
yeah, that's the man himself.
I saw Milos. You saw that picture. You saw a picture of the Kevin DeVrone Flex Wheeler, the one I took in '93. Yeah. If you look on the right-hand side, because Milos was 5th.
Mate, Milos has been in every competition.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. Because I saw him at the '92 British Grand Prix, so that was the first time. Because I think he turned pro when he started competing in '91, and then he just did every single show.
Yeah, I think he told me he did every one in a calendar year, right? Crazy. He loves it, mate.
I know, but that's really that's...
Well, obviously back then there weren't as many shows in a calendar year. There's not like 50 shows like now.
True.
But yeah, he loves it.
There's that guy. Look at that.
It's crazy, eh?
God.
Go on,
because I stayed in this room, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Because there's the 2 bedrooms. There's the bathroom there next to him there. And then I stayed in this room, and he said, Giles, he said, I'm going to have to knock on the door at like 7 o'clock. He says, because my treadmill's in here. It's a fold-down treadmill. He says, so, sorry, mate, you'll have to get up. He says, because I've got to do my cardio. And then he's got a big screen on the wall, and he just gets on there, and he watches his like bodybuilding videos and stuff, to get him up in the morning,
That's crazy.
Massive.
He's going to do very, very well this year.
What a monster. His legs. My God.
Crazy, man.
God. I bet he struggles to get jeans to fit.
I bet he don't wear jeans.
So, anything you particularly see on? Oh, this was the 99 British Grand Prix. My God, look at that lineup.
Look at him out angling Ronnie.
Do you know what?
Go on, mate.
I mean, he's really chose a good photo there, isn't he?
Well, he's got the tricks. He's got the rotation, mate.
Yeah.
Showing that top line.
Yeah. Yeah, because Ronnie's kind of bunching up there, isn't he? He's hiding himself.
They call it side chest, but Milos likes you to rotate. He likes to show the back shoulder, so you'll have width across top line. And it shows there, because obviously we know Milos isn't as big as Ronnie.
Yeah.
But he kind of looks wider there.
Ronnie's doing a side delt.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And it'll be funny, like, look at the width from the front delt.
Oh, crazy, right?
Rear delt. Did you, I mean, you probably weren't a bodybuilding fan back when Ronnie was competing, but no. I'm assuming you never saw Ronnie compete.
Not in real life, no.
I did.
Did you?
I saw him several times at the British Grand Prix. I saw him at the 2001 and 2002 Olympia. I wished I'd gone to the 2003. Yeah. Because that was the one where he just took everything to another level. He came back like a monster. But,
Crazy.
There he's not. To think he got bigger than that as well. But Milos, man, look at that. Oh, what two legends, man.
What a photo.
Three legends. Three legends. Three legends. Kevin De Vrone, arguably the best side chest, and Milos holding his own. So anyway, So
Milos obviously did an absolutely amazing job in New York. So
yeah,
good, amazing.
Good man. Cool. And we're going to go to your next one.
Yeah, so this is my training partner. If anyone doesn't know, give him a follow. Jimmy Tonk. Guy's an absolute savage. I took that photo.
I know this. No, do I know him?
You might do, yeah. He won his pro card last year. He's prepping for his pro debut now.
Okay.
He's also coached by Milos. He's my training partner. Mate, go to the next photo. Look at his legs.
Hang on. What classic?
Classic, yeah.
Okay. Is there a conflict of interest there?
No.
Wow.
Got some right legs on him.
Do you know what? They look like a slightly smaller version than your legs.
They're bigger than my legs.
Mate, they've got the same sweep.
Yeah, we've got very similar legs, but he's a bit taller than me.
You've got matching sweeps.
Mate, when I train with him, my legs feel like pins. He's such a great training partner, mate. We both do the high volume type training.
Yeah.
But he's strong as well.
Is he?
So I have to break my back to keep up with him.
Yeah.
No joke.
He looks tall.
Yeah, he's a bit tall. He's like C-bum's height.
So 6'1"?
6'1", yeah.
Right,
6'1",
okay. Because you're 5'10", aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great physique. He's just, tell you himself, what he's trying to do is just balance the upper a little bit more. He needs a little bit more tissue up top, but he's well on the way to achieving that.
Do you know what? They say that, that the legs are very similar.
Yeah, he's
similar.
got a great physique. He's got a really good back as well.
Oh, this is Hungary?
I think it was Poland.
Poland. Oh, sorry, that's right, yeah. Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah, he's good. Deep lines.
Do you know what? When you get those cuts then...
His quads, mate, I tell you, in real life, they're probably one of the best quads you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's annoying because his legs are so good. It makes the upper body harder.
Yeah.
But he's gaining so much muscle so fast on the upper. This year he'll be fully balanced.
Brilliant.
Like, it's not that he's not balanced. His legs are just so freaking good.
Yeah.
How
say there, in these two pictures, how far is he under?
The weight limit?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's got, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's got a good 20 pounds that he can put on. So
he doesn't have to downsize these
he's just got to
give opportunity.
It might be £10, it might be £20. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Good place to be.
I know he was under the amateur weight limit on stage when he won his pro card.
I'm sorry?
He was under the amateur weight limit when he won his pro card. And
right.
So then you get the jump to pro, plus £10.
Oh, it's another £10.
So he was already under the amateur, so he's got quite a bit to play with.
Okay.
And when he stacks that on the upper body, which he is, he's going to do very, very well.
Look his condition.
Yeah, he gets razor sharp.
Look at that.
Razor
Look at his hamstrings.
His glutes like almonds.
He's got, these bits here.
Crazy. Honestly, his legs in person, his hamstrings are like an arm. Honestly, they're like a bicep on the back of his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great physique. Really good training partner. Really good guy.
Impressive.
He knows his stuff as well.
Good. No, it's so important to have a good training partner.
Yeah.
Do you train together every session?
Every session, full-time training partners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What, 10 sessions a week?
Yep. We do every single one together. Yeah.
Oh, so
he's with Milos as well.
Okay.
So he's coached by Milos.
So does he do training or coaching or do?
He does coaching as well. He's coaching, but he's full-time bodybuilding.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
So
Okay.
IFBB pro. He's prepping for his pro debut.
Awesome.
But yeah. So give him a follow, guys, if you don't.
Yeah. Jimmy Tonk. Quite easy to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one. Wanted to look at Ultraflex Rotherham. So this is the gym that I train at. A big shout out to the gym. As I was saying, world-class facility, world-class, great members, always getting new stuff in.
And you said, because like I said, I've been to the York Ultraflex and the Leeds one. You said this is next level again.
They're all great. All the Ultraflex are very good, but this is just a whole new level. It's just continually being invested in. It's continually getting better. Yeah. It's like that picture of that bench is selling that bench. Yeah, we need space for more machines. That hamstring curl's only been in 2 weeks. That leg press been 2 weeks. Like, it's all brand new. Everything's always coming in.
What's your favourite make of equipment? Because
I've got a few. I really like Hammer Strength, to be honest, because it's just heavy all the way through the movement. But I also like Prime because you can change the resistance profiles. Yeah, I like Atlantis as well. To be fair, there's me. Where? Right, up and left.
Oh, they are. I think you're about 118 kilo there.
Yeah, I'm bulking here.
Yeah.
Look at my fat face. I think I was explaining why I train there. Let's
have a listen. I don't think is that coming through on the headphones? Oh, it doesn't matter. The sound's not. We haven't. I did something so I could listen to the live stream when I'm watching on TV, and I don't think it's coming through the headphones. And I couldn't figure it out this morning, so we've just got a visual on this one, I'm afraid. We're not interested in what you got to say. We just want to see how you look. So.
Yes, that's what I would do off season.
Yeah. But you know what? You're saying off season, but look, you're not holding any fat.
No, it's more water. Just more water and inflammation.
Yeah. I suppose you're strongest then as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are these mics?
Yeah, it's a microphone.
Okay.
I think they drown out the background noise.
Nice.
And then one more I wanted to mention was just my therapist, R&R.
Oh, we haven't got that one.
Can we type it in or not?
Yeah. Just do it here. Hang on. Tell me.
So it's RNR.
RNR.
Yep. And then dot therapy. There you go. Top one.
Dot.
So this guy's.
Oh, bollock.
There you go. He is the therapist of all the IFBB pros in this area. So me, Rob, Cuba, Jamie, Jimmy, Meg. I hope I've not missed anyone there.
So Jamie the Giant, Cuba. How do you say his last name?
Cuba, Celine, I think. Celine.
I don't. Yeah, okay.
Sure. I just call him Cuba.
Cuba, yeah. Hey, Cuba, yeah. You don't say his full name, do you? Meg Sylvester, Cuba's wife.
Yep.
And then
Jamie the
Giant.
Rob.
How does he see Jamie though? Because Jamie's not far away, is he?
No, he does home visits for the pros.
Oh.
So he comes to our house.
So he goes all the way to.
Yeah, he does me at 6 a.m. He's banging on my door at 6 a.m. every Wednesday morning.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's amazing, mate. Amazing. So for the pros, he goes. See there, he's working with 9 IFBB pros. It says.
Where? Where does it say that?
In his bio.
Yeah. There. There we go.
Yep, and then I think he also works with a lot of the amateur guys coming up. But this guy, he has like ultrasound, he has shockwave. He's got the strongest thumbs. He's just disgusting. He's a savage, mate. Like.
Does he have you screaming?
Mate, yeah. When you say ow, you expect someone to ease up. He pushes harder.
Does he?
But he does deep tissue massage, which is what we need.
Yeah. I remember when I first started getting sports massage, and I remember getting it on my back, and I remember going to the gym. I remember doing a warm-up set of pull-downs, and I had a pump like I just finished my back workout. Yeah. And I was doing like 50% weight, just the warm-up, and I was like, I just couldn't believe. I was like, why didn't I think of this before?
Well, touch wood. Since working with Jay, I've not had one injury.
Really?
No. But coincidentally, at the same time, it's been since working with Milos and doing the high volume.
Yeah.
But the combination of the two, I see him every week, no matter what, every Wednesday, 6 a.m. And yeah, he's
6 a.m. you meet him.
6 a.m. he comes from my house. He lives around here, so he drives all the way. But then he goes to Jimmy's house and does Jimmy, and then he goes to Jamie's.
Do you ever sleep in?
Nah.
You're up.
Nah, I'm up.
You're up. What time do you get up?
It's at 6.
You go, okay. So literally, you're like bed hair and.
Oh yeah. He comes in his slippers.
That's so cool.
He walks in, he goes, "Oh, bro." I go, "Oh, bro."
Morning. Black coffee, please. No sugar.
Yeah, you ready, bro? Yeah, you're ready, bro. Yeah, you're tired, yeah, bro.
Nice. Well, he sounds really good. Because thing is, like,
he's very, very good.
We've all gone through a lot of different, when you're training and stuff like that. And I could probably had probably 5 or 6. And there's only really 1 or 2 that were the other ones just felt nice, and you got a bit of, but when you get someone that's like finding a really good gym like Ultraflex, you get the right gym, you get the right massage therapist, sports massage therapist, soft tissue, it's so beneficial, and it's so good when you find the right
100%,
the right people.
There's no coincidence all the IFBB pros in this area go with him.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no coincidence there. We don't do it because we do it because he's the best one around here. So
yeah, good.
He's top guy. Give him a follow as well.
Right, yeah, give him to our RNR.
And that's kind of my team.
Yeah,
So thank you to all my guys that helped me. I couldn't have done it without you. And I appreciate you all. So that's
Neil, there's one last thing I want to show.
Okay.
Is I've gone to MD. I'm sure they won't mind me using it. It's your posing routine from the New York Pro. So we're gonna. In fact, should we put the sound off on this if it's going to be stupid?
You can do,
It's going to be funny on. I can hear that. Oh, I can hear that a little bit.
So I think this was.
Take the sound off. Oh, with the copyright. Hang on, where are we? Yeah, I got copyright with the music anyway. So so just walk us through this, mate.
So I think this was maybe the 1 minute presentation in pre-judging. So yeah, this is when you walk on stage and then kind of you see them bright lights and you think, am I nervous? Am I not? I felt quite good. Yeah, felt quite tight. I was just trying to take things slowly, relax into it and just take my time. Not over tense and shake, your abs and your quads, you're not even really, even when they're relaxed, you can still see all the separation. Yeah. It's not a great angle for side chest, that one, but yeah, you can see the conditions there. Like, you always look at yourself and think, oh, I could have done that better. But, overall I won the show, so I'm very happy. But looking at this, I think, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, but right, going through here, I was just like extreme focus. I was going for the win. It meant a lot to me. A lot of people say, like, why don't you smile when you pose? Like,
look at that, like, glutes.
I ain't there to have fun. I'm there to try and I'm working.
You posed your glutes, and then they went from like soft at the bottom, and then they went like everything just came in because look at the skin on your glutes and your hams there. I mean, that's condition. Yeah. Then this bit, I kind of added this bit in extra. Nice. I was just then this is my Milos pose. Pay homage. Who do you have anyone help you with the posing? Nah, just do it yourself. Yeah, you do it yourself. Even for the Olympia. Yeah. I'm gonna do a really good one for the Olympia. I've already started. Good. So this, for this prep, I was focusing so much on the physique. Yeah. I did obviously practice my posing. I'm practicing it every day, but the big thing at the minute, the way things are judged, judging your quarter turns and your mandatories. That's what's getting you to win. You're not actually judged in the posing round. I don't want to hear this. Yeah, I know. I can't listen to this. But it is what it is, right? Sacrilege, mate. But it is what it is, right? Conditioning and posing. Do not just discredit or discount those two things. But so there's a heavy focus when I was practicing, obviously, on hitting the mandatories. Like, when I went to see Steve Weinberger, I didn't say to him, can I show you my routine? Yeah. I said to him, can I show you my mandatories? Yeah. Because they're what are going to get you into the final, right? So yeah, that was actually my 1 minute presentation there, not the routine, but yeah. So I was absolutely ecstatic, to win the New York Pro, dream come true, to qualify for the Olympia as a New York Pro champion, it's amazing. Thing is, like you won the biggest show that you don't have to be a pro show winner to get an invite to. Yeah. Like you got the Olympia, the Arnold Classic, is there a problem? Oh, sorry. I thought there was something going wrong. So you literally won the biggest show that you didn't have to get an invite to. Yeah. What I'm saying. So they call it the third biggest show in the world, the New York Pro. Yeah. So there's Olympia and the Arnold, and then the New York Pro, right? It used to be called the Night of Champions. Yeah. Like, it's the big boy. And it's, for me, it's really special because I've always watched it and wanted to do it. I've watched Keon win it. I watched Breon win it. I've watched the battles in the New York Pro, and that's right, because you said that, and I thought, hang on, that's not right. But he won. It was when Keon was Classic. Yeah, Keon won it in Classic. Yeah, yeah. Breon won it. And it's it's a massive show. It's the guys that have won the New York Pro have gone on to do quite very well in bodybuilding. Very true. So it was a big show I wanted to do,
I was absolutely buzzing to win the New York Pro, and it's it's a great crown to carry around, and being the New York Pro champion. It's I was walking around singing out King of New York for 3 days.
Brilliant. Right, so Neil, obviously the Olympia's next for you. There's nothing else in between.
No, all eggs in one basket. Blinkers are on for the Olympia.
You excited?
Yes, absolutely buzzing. More right now, I'm more motivated than excited.
Right.
The excitement will come when I'm ready, but right now it's more like I'm like aggressively motivated. I'm just starting. I'm about to go in the trenches, and I'm going to prep harder than I've ever prepped, train harder than I've ever trained, diet harder than I've ever dieted, and I'm going to be the best I've ever been. And you only get one shot at this, and honestly, my goal is my honest goal is put it out there. I want to break that top 10, get in that first call out with the top 10, and then start working and get as close to the front of the pack as possible.
Because this is probably going to be your first of probably several Olympias. I believe hopefully, that you will do, and because it's your Olympia. This is your opportunity. No, you only get one opportunity to make a first impression.
Exactly.
You get one and only opportunity to really say, right, okay, I'm a classic guy and I'm serious and I'm really, because if you had a graph, your career has been, okay, you were a top 10 guy in pro shows, in Spain and Dubai, was it? Dubai?
Spain. Kuwait.
Kuwait. And then you went up to a top 5 guy, then a top 3 guy, and now you're winning pro shows, all within the space of turning pro 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years. I'm
on an upward trajectory, and I plan to keep going up.
There you go.
So that's my goal. And I've got absolutely nothing planned for 16 weeks. I'm not leaving Rotherham. I have no appointments. I have no obligations. All I will do every second of every day until December 15th is bodybuild.
House, Ultraflex, Tesco's.
Pretty much, mate. That's about it. I have nothing planned, and this is literally my last thing I'm doing outside of bodybuilding before the Olympia.
Yeah.
It's on lockdown.
And then literally as soon as you get home, you've got to rush and get all your Christmas shopping, mate.
Yeah, don't do that. My missus will do that.
Yeah. Neil,
or we can get away with. We might stay in America for Christmas.
That'd be a good idea. Well, Vegas, yeah. I wonder what Christmas will be like in Vegas.
I think every day's good in Vegas.
Yeah. Neil, this has been absolutely amazing. This has been, obviously, thank you so much for making the start of season 5 so special, because these in-studio episodes, they're just, when athletes like yourself, make the effort to come up, it really gets us off to a good start. So I got to thank you for that. And it's and also it's good to be back.
And it's great to be here. Great to see you guys. Great to spend time with you. And my final message is for the guys that are coming up. We were talking about this while we were eating our dinner. In bodybuilding, don't quit, because people will listen to this and be like, "Oh yeah, he's won the New York Pro," but what you've not heard is how many shows I've lost.
Yeah.
How many pro qualifiers I travelled around the world and lost. And how many pro shows I quote unquote lost, didn't win to get here. So my message is to anyone who's watching this and wants to win the New York Pro or qualify for Olympia, you can. You just got to realise where you are in your journey. You got to keep working your hardest. And if you keep getting better and better, eventually you will become better than other people and be able to win these shows. So keep the faith, keep working, and never quit. That's my message to the guys.
Yeah, that's a good way to end. Really good things, part to end. Neil Currey, thank you so much for coming on MD Glove Muscle. And and obviously good luck at the Olympia. And I'll see you on the Thursday night at the Meet the Olympians.
Yes,
so
let's chat then.
And let's just go kick some ass in Vegas.
You might not recognise me without my beard.
Yeah, no, keep the beard. I think it's cool.
Do you think I can?
Yeah, I think it. Keep it.
For you.
Keep it. All right then, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.